Hey friends, it's Velvet. Of course, the minute I decided to do a video, Baxter decides he needs to play, so he's laying on his back with his feet up, growling. All right, so here's what happened. I came down today. What did I do with it? And I decided that I did not like the color of the book that I put together for these signatures of this Kit. I love this. I love it so much, and I can't wait to use it, but it just doesn't go with this. So I'm going to set it aside, and I decided to find a new book to use. This one's very similar in size to the one I had pulled out. And I took all of these scraps that I had from cutting the signatures, and I just kind of cut them down and put them on here the way I thought they might work, and I kind of like it. I'm just deciding right now if I want to, and I think I do. I think I want to ink the edges of these. So I'm not sure if I want to do the salted caramel or if I want to do like one of my distress oxides. So I'm going to try the salted caramel on one that could be kind of inconspicuous and just kind of see how it looks here. So if I put this here, and again, I'm not going to do in the crease, so I'm just going to go like that. Some of these will be overlapping, and I am going to use my fluid matte medium. I think I'm going to need to pick up some fluid matte medium. I have some regular, but I really like the fluid for this kind of thing that's like decoupaging. I mean, this is paper, so it's not, you know, really decoupaging. But it is, you know, it's on a book, but you're gluing paper on, so. Boy, I love this 49 and Market salted caramel ink. It's just kind of my color. Really, really like this color. Plus it's caramel. I love caramel. The flavor. Right, so this is how I envisioned that top going. And then I wanted this to, because I wanted to pick out all of the colors that are in the signatures, including the, you know, the beigey browns of the coffee dyed papers, and you know what's in some of the papers. Okay, so I had that like that. That one goes on last. I didn't want this cover to be too, I don't know the word you'd use for it, too super duper feminine, like the inside of the book looks like it's going to be. Alright, and then going like that, that would look like that, and then this, if it works the way I want it to, go across the middle. So we need to cover up this space right here, but we also need to cover up this space right here, it's going to be a delicate procedure. All right, there. So that would be how it would look. And then I would use some of the 3,000 things that I've got that goes with this kit to, you know, decorate the cover as well. So that's how it would look. And I think that's going to look nice. I need to cover the back as well because the back has stuff on it too. So I think that looks good. I think I'm ready to go. So, oh, I got the door open down here because it's Labor Day and it's just a beautiful day out. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and go like this so that I know the order that I should be doing these in if it works. So let's see what happens, folks. Let's see what happens. If it all gets screwed up, we'll gesso it over and you know, just kind of do something else. Okay. I want it to go right to the top and not over. Oh, that adheres fast, or it feels like it does, at least with paper. So okay, now yeah, just go like this. Go like that. Does that look the right way, or that? I think I kind of like it that way. Let me just, I just want to see. I just want to make sure that they're straight and they are as they should be. Now, how much is it supposed to? Okay, so it does go over. I'm gonna line it up with this corner. I hope my head isn't in the way here. Wow, that's really adhering fast. I can't even believe how fast that's holding. Let me just kind of see if I can lift this a little bit and get some more under here. And then more on top because I know that this is going to overlap. Do the same thing. We get it lined up to the corner here. Did I bring that glue up far enough? That I wanted down. That does not look flat, does it? Okay. That looks like it should go this way. I am just going right to the edge here and no further. Okay, now I just need to make sure that I can cover this whole thing, that it goes like this, velvet. And I think I can just barely do it. So, I mean, this is just seriously barely do it. I did not do any measuring or anything, so right there. Oops, okay. Come on, you can do this right there. Come on, stop moving. I left my husband to mop upstairs. My husband is not a big fan of chores. He is a bit of a perfectionist, so when he does chores, he does them well. It takes him 10 years to get them done because he is a bit of a perfectionist. I have a skinny little line right here, but you know what? I can fix that. I am going to use a little tiny snippet in here. Look at that. Hi. Hello. Hi, Baxter. I am going to cut a little tiny snippet. And I think maybe I'll go all the way across. Because I want this to be the way I want it to be. And then I know it's going to be just a tad, just a little tiny bit over, and I can cut that off the side after. Oh, that's okay. Now, what I want to do is go over the whole thing with this. And I do want to make sure that all of these edges are down flat. See, this one right here is giving me some trouble. This big long one that I put on. Don't know why it's giving me troubles, but I'm gonna try and get this little air stuff out of it and make sure I've gone over all of this. It just gives it a protective coating. I'm just going to try and flatten this with my fingers to make sure that the air is out from underneath it. So it's a lot like doing decoupage. That one right there is going to bug me. Dog 3 is down here. That would be Odin. Wants to play with Bax. Bax looks like he wants to play, but Odin may have run all the way upstairs like he tends to do. All right, there. That is what the cover is going to look like. Pre-decoration. And now I'll show you the back and why I have to cover it. I'm actually going to lay this out like that. I just want to take a look and see how far out that's sticking. See if I can get this right now. I cannot. I'll have to use a craft knife, I think. So, while that's drying, I will put it over here to dry more. I'm going to pause and get this cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Hi friends, I'm back. I am just kind of sorting through what I've got here and figuring out, what I want to use and where I want to use it. Oops, this does not belong there. So here's what I have as leftovers of, the cutoffs from all of my signatures. This is from the 8x8, what's left. I cut out, there was a cute little envelope in here, so I cut that out. I'm going to show you as soon as I can find it. There it is. Isn't that adorable? So I cut that out and made that. Cute little thing. I cut out a couple of easy things that I was able to cut out that I can use here. That's just another little leftover piece of paper. So those were from, these 8x8s. I think I can use some of this as tuck spots. So I can cut these to make into, just some tuck spots. I can, of course, cut these out. I can do the same thing here, make some tuck spots out of these. And then these are also some things that I cut out. Those aren't. These are from something else that I just punched out. They're just some cheap stuff that I got. That's from Amity Bloom. I thought that would look nice in here. And these are just like little two-sided cards that came with the Stamperia kit that are writable. So these can go into the tuck spots that we make. So that's that. Right now, I am working on punching out these chipboard elements that came with the Stamperia kit. These are proving to be difficult. They're sticky, so they don't want to punch out easily. I just wanted to punch them out so that they're taking up less space. That's all I'm trying to do. And then I intend to use as many of them as I can in this book, in this journal. I know. I don't want to have that many leftovers for this kit. I just don't. Because it's not something that I would typically use on a daily basis. You know what I mean? It's just not my normal everyday style. So, the less I have left over, the less I have to try and store somewhere. So that's why I'm just doing this, so I can get rid of this big chipboard thing. I have this out because I had an idea about making these things into a little pocket by covering with some of this acetate stuff. So something that I could sew onto the front of those and make like maybe a double pocket with some journaling tucks that I can put in there, because you know almost every single page of this journal is going to be two-sided and you know hard to write on. So I figured the more journaling spots I give this, you know, then its next owner, the better. So it could be not just pretty, but useful, which is always the idea, of course. So let me just finish this. I just wanted to turn the camera back on and show you what I have gotten done here. And then I will show you how the cover turned out now that it's dry, because it is dry. I see some bubbling that I'm not crazy about, but that's okay, because you know, we can fix that with, you know, with some of these adhesive things and maybe some flowers and things. So I am liking it, though. I will say that I am liking it. I'm not displeased. I'm very happy with choosing the different papers, and the fact that when you open this, the papers on the inside perfectly match this outside. So, and I just love the inside of this too. I think, you know, it's got that old feel to it too. So I thought maybe the next thing I do, so I'm just going to kind of put this aside as a reminder to myself that that's what I plan to do with those. All right, so I've still got some rub-ons, either some more rub-ons that I can use on some of the papers. And I also still have three pieces of plain cardstock that I can use to make pockets and things if I want to. And I can use the rub-ons and some of this ephemera to, you know, to decorate those. So I thought maybe the next thing I'd do was make some pockets and tags with you. So if you are following along, if you're hanging out with me and doing some of these things yourself, this could be, you know, something fun to do. Now these ones that are long like this and in the correct direction are perfect for tags. So I've got my trimmer right here. I'm just going to get this stuff out of the way. I had just wanted to kind of sort and see what's going on here. So let's just go like that. All right, I think what I'm going to do here is just cut this right in half. So this should be 12, so we'll cut it. But actually, we don't want it to be any taller than our book. So if we do, yeah, we'll be okay if we go 6 and 6. I think we will be a-okay. All right, so that should be 2 6s. Yep. And so we can make the front of one of them this one, and then the front of another one this one, if we want. Or we can make both of these the front. Now on this one, we can do the same thing. This is a little tall for this. So I think what I'll do is I'll make this a tag, but I'm going to cut it down, and I'm going to make a 5-inch tag, and then this will just be scrap. I'll just put that over there. Love that as a tag. Now, the other thing I did want to do is put in a couple of notebooks. So what we could do is we could make this kind of the cover of a notebook. And to do that, all we really need to do is grab some papers that we can put in, that we can fold up and put in. And that could be just coffee dyed paper too. And like if these were a little bit thick, wider, we could make them into notebook papers. And all we would really have to do is maybe we could maybe just go like this, cut off a little bit. So these are our little extra pieces here. And then we would maybe want to go like this. Okay. I've lost my bone folder. I think it's over here somewhere. Yep. All right, so you don't want to make this, you just want to make that nice and crisp. And then you would just find your papers so that they're not any wider than this. Kind of tuck them up here. And you could put like maybe some pretty lace here and staple it. Actually, what I would do is I would staple before putting the lace down and then glue the lace down. So when you lift this up, you've got all the papers underneath and you've got extra writing space. So let's put this aside as, something that we've got ready to go, more or less. So that's going to be a little notebook. Okay. Oops. This is really quite pretty. That could also be 2 tags. Now, we don't have to say every single one of these tags is for this journal, right? Absolutely not. We do not have to have every single tag for this journal. But we're getting them ready. We only have a couple more thin pieces. I'm going to hang on to this for maybe a future project because it's a little bit funky and could be kind of fun for something else. I'm just putting it in my folder of scripts that are long and skinny. Now this is kind of the correct size for a tag. This is not. Let's make this 2 kind of short tags. What do you think? 2 short tags. And then this one, again, 2 short on the shorter side tags. Okay, so there's that. And then with these, let's make some pockets or side tucks. So here's what I'm thinking here. This could be a side tuck like this. See that? And then we can do one like this. I don't necessarily need them to be, coming from the same direction. That'll be an extra little piece. So we can do that. It's a narrow one. Let's see, what else could we do? Let's just do, all right, let's just even this up here. This could just go over here in our pile there. We can make this into a side tuck if we want to. That is so pretty. It would be kind of tall for a pocket, but we can certainly make this into a side tuck. And then if we went like this, it could be a pocket. Let's put that aside. And this is pretty. Isn't that pretty? I would very much like to use this as a pocket, but I'll need to you know what? It could be a pocket for one of those longer tags, couldn't it? Or we could, I know what we can do. Let's cut this in half and put this pocket on the front of this. So we just need to, there's a little extra piece here. But these two will go together and it will be a double pocket. Okay. What can we do here? That could be a belly band. We can't have that belly band any wider than the page, of course. So let's cut that off. That looks very good. So there's a belly band. Now, what else have we got? Oh, well, that would make a nice pocket. A nice little pocket there. We could make a 3-tiered pocket. Let's see if we can do that. Let's go 1. And then we want to go, let's just cut and see what we can do here. Okay, so we could do 1, let's just make it up as we go. Oh, I don't have all of my things in a row here. All right, this is another one that I would like to make into something, anything. And I think let's cut this right in half. Let's figure it out when we get there. All right. Let's just do a couple things here. Let's first do this because that's going to be fun. We have got to get this. Have to do these at the same time so they line up. All right, so this is just going to be a double pocket. And we want to put our thumb notch in, but we want our thumb notches to line up. So we're going to cut the thumb notches at the same time. There we go. Not quite centered, but that's all right. And now we want to do our inking. Yes, I do love that caramel color. I was hearing noises down here, and I was asking Baxter what he was doing. It wasn't Baxter because he's under my desk, or he was. I had forgotten that our littlest boy, which is our oldest, was down here on the couch. He had rolled himself off the couch because he can't jump off the couch anymore. He doesn't jump. Doesn't even walk very well. And then I felt so bad, poor little guy. Now he's just wandering around. He walks better on the carpet down here. We have hardwood and tile upstairs, so those are not good for his little hips and feet. All right, so here's what we're doing here. This is such an easy way to get a pocket on a page. Such an easy way. And then I'll put it on a page so you can see how that's going to look. Gotta find the right page though. There we go. So there's that. And then of course we can absolutely decorate this. Well, look how cute that would be. That would be totally adorable, wouldn't it? Indeed it would. And it's gonna go there. I'm so glad I punched these out. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. Good. Now, I'm just going to back this up with a couple of little dots of glue here, just to be sure that it doesn't come off at some point in the future. And I'm also going to make sure that this is absolutely down to the bottom as far as it can go, because I see that this is going all the way to the top. There. There we go. Okay. Now, is there something that could go in this? Well, of course there is. Just to show you what we can do here. Let's see, do we have a page in here that this could go on? This could go right here. That would look very cute, wouldn't it? That would be pretty to open up to, wouldn't it? I'm gonna put it there. And I'm gonna put it there so that this is the first signature, by the way. It's gonna be the first signature. I've already decided. So that, you know, when you open up the book, you see some pretty things right off the bat. There. And one of these we were gonna make a big long. That's what we were gonna do. Now on any of these tags, we could very easily glue on something, piece of coffee dyed paper, so that you can write on the back of it. That would be super simple. Let me just grab this. That one that I wanted to be a long one. Well, I think it must be. All right, let's do this then. Jeez, apparently the old dog, the little dog, wants to get outside. He just pushed on the door. I'm just doing this for now. I want to see how that's going to look in that. I hope I put it down far enough on the page. These really don't need a whole lot of inking. Let's just see. Did we put it down far enough on the page? Barely. But if we didn't, we could just chop off a little bit. Now I could put these in here too. I could put, let's try. Too much green right there, I think. Let's try this one. Oh, that looks nice. What do you think? Doesn't that look nice? Lito, stop running into the door, please. If he got out, it's 2 small cement steps, and I would hate for him to land on those. He's not going to get out because it's shut, but there. Isn't that nice? That looks pretty. So that's where I'm going to stop. This video has gotten very long for you and me. And yeah, next time I will have the book somewhat decorated, I think, and we'll put the signatures in and probably get done with this and move on to the next project. So thank you for hanging out with me and coming on this little journey that I wasn't expecting to go on, changing up the book and everything. So appreciate it, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. Take care. Bye.